It's October. You know what that means. Brutalizing pumpkins and overabundance of the color orange. And most importantly, ghosts. So I figured, since I love this season so much, we should play the scariest game that I own. Don't judge me, the big balls are terrifying. The Nintendo GameCube. Don't let the handle fool you. You can't store your lunch in this. When the GameCube released, everyone wondered what the next Mario game would be. Super Mario 64 was such a huge innovation, so naturally, at E3 2001, Nintendo came out with the big guns. You, here's Luigi. Luigi's Mansion was released September 2001 and was the only Mario experience for months, but it was different. It had a darker tone, and while nobody would consider it a horror game, it was still scarier than the average Mario game. Unless you're scared of 64-bit Bowser, and I wouldn't blame you. You know, I haven't actually played the original, despite owning it for well over 6 months. It's just been collecting dust on my shelf. Kind of like the series. Yeah? What do you mean Luigi's Mansion 3 was only 2 years ago? Okay, I normally don't start on this note, but the music in this game is so fucking good. I don't think there's a single track in this game that misses the mark. This game had no reason to have such a good soundtrack. It's a side game about fucking Luigi. The story of this game? Luigi gets an email from his cousin who's apparently a Nigerian prince and said he'd buy him a mansion if he sent 100,000 coins. But the trick here is, there actually is a mansion, but it's filled with ghosts and Mario is missing. Again. Luigi then runs into Professor Egat who gives him the Poltergust 3000 to catch the ghosts, and the story takes a backseat until we find out that Mario's paint. That pun was not worth it in the slightest, and I apologize. King Boo has captured Mario in a painting, and also the other ghosts are paintings too, and it's up to Luigi to unpainting Mario and repaint the other ghosts who are painted by this guy who is also a ghost, so who painted him and how did he get out of that painting? There are also 50 Boos running around the mansion that you have to capture. The counter kind of reminds me of Metroid Samus Returns, and the reason I choose the remake and not the Game Boy version is because the Boos remind me of these fuckers who leave mid-fight and make you chase after them, except the Boos are 1,000 times worse. They just keep going back and forth through doors and they take so long to capture, which means more going back and forth through these doors to only knock off one point before they go back to the door because they don't get pulled in like regular ghosts do. Look how long it takes for me to capture one Boo by the end of the game. But the regular ghosts are fine. It does get kind of annoying how Luigi does this scared animation every time one appears, but I enjoy these encounters nonetheless. There's enough variety in the ghosts to keep me interested. You catch them by flashing them with your light, then giving them the big suck! If you turn the light off before flashing them, they'll be stunned longer, and you can even drag multiple guys at once. The best part is the bosses, not these ones that transport you into these weird worlds. Those are pretty simple, but the ghosts that look like actual people that you have to figure out the method to catching them. They make the mansion feel like it used to be lived in by them because they look like people who actually died. They all interact with the mansion in a unique way. It's so good that I'm willing to ignore the fact that the butler runs all the way to his room to put out a fire with his ass instead of going to the bathroom that's right next to him. The regular bosses are cool, but the only one that feels like a real ghost is the baby, and the longer you think about his existence in this game, the worse it gets. Holy shit, dead baby. There are also these elemental ghosts that let you spread out the corresponding element. They normally give you all the sources you need if an encounter has ghosts that require that to kill them, But sometimes you just don't have enough, or you have the wrong one, you have to backtrack to other areas. It would be better if you could switch between them with the D-pad or something.
Let's kick some ice.
Eventually, Luigi saves Mario, because of course he does. They couldn't just end the game with him still in the painting. But yeah, that was Luigi's Mansion. Despite the boo-boo ass boos, I still had a lot of fun knocking this off my backlog. I've dabbled in the sequels, but neither of them have come close to the feeling of the first game. It's as close to a Mario horror game you can get, and it's well worth the visit. It's not a very long game, but it's well worth the run through. I can't speak on the 3DS version because I never bought it. I saw it at a store once, I held it in my hands, and I put it down to buy Devil May Cry. See, this totally fits in with the rest of the retrospective. But anyway, that's all I have today. I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween. I'll see you guys next time when I finally decide to review Devil May Cry 4, unless something distracts me first. Anyway, take care. Bye bye.